So guys, first live stream, I believe it's live. Let me just check here. Okay. Here. Yes, I believe it's everything good. Yeah, I think it is good. So let me just put this aside to also help me with your questions. And here. Okay. So let's just see if more people come in. And until then, I hope you all are fine. I hope you all are doing good. And I hope you can see me well and the quality isn't too bad. So I'm filming with my phone because I don't have the equipment to do it with the camera, so the quality isn't that good. But I hope the audio is good because I'm using the microphone and probably I tested this. Probably this will be good. Okay, so I hope you also can read the things that I will write here, because I'll try to explain it better with some things written and so on, and some type of infographics, so that can be easier for you to understand what I'm doing. Hey man, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. By the way, guys, if you have any question, make sure you comment. I will try to keep on responding, or even respond it after I explain all the questions that you already have and that I have prepared for you. So before I continue, also as this is the first live stream, I want to do something special for you guys as well, and I want to give you something for the support that you gave me as well. So here you have the code live stream with a 30% of discount on the workout programs that I have available. The links are in the description down below as usual. You already know this one. And I also have two new packs, that is the Easter packs, that I got everything together and with a huge discount as well. So just if you are looking for, or if you want some type of programs, you can check it there. So good, we are rolling, and I believe we can start with one or two, with the first question. Probably we can already start. Yeah, we are 3 minutes in, we have some people, and okay, let's start it. So I got 3 kind of big questions for this live stream, and I believe they are very good. I don't think that one of them is easily explained just like this. There are a lot of components to it, and there are a lot of things that you have to pay attention when you research for it and when you try to do it. There is the one about periodization and how to schedule your training, and that one I will probably leave to the end because it's the more extensive one. So I'm going to start with a good one, and is related to the pre-workout, the beginning of the training, the warm-up. And someone asked me about whether they should do static or dynamic stretch before training, and if it had some impact on their training. So let me just pick up a marker, and we have both static, okay, and dynamic stretching. Dynamics, sorry guys. And with these two ones, if you don't know what they are, the static one is where you are holding the position. Just for example, let's say you are holding here the stretch. Here you are holding it, you are stretching your biceps, your shoulder, and so on, and you are just holding it for time. The dynamic one, you are like here, but you do some movement, some rotation, some dynamic movement to perform the stretch. Is more like a warm-up exercise than just a simple stretch. So I already gave some ideas of what I'm going to tell and what is the best one. But anyway, when it comes to the static one in terms of the literature and what the study says, is that this one can potentially decrease the force production of your muscle. So it can decrease the force production or the strength of the muscle, and also the decreasing of the neural transmission of the stimuli, that is the one that creates the muscle contraction and so on. But basically with this one, in order to reach that point where you lose some strength, or even the point that the neural transmission is decreased, you have to stretch for a longer period of time. Studies says about some minutes and so, but normally people stretch for about 30 seconds, so that doesn't really affect much that part, and you can do it safely without risking that much, because also the effect of the stretching tends to go out for about after 4 minutes of the stretch is finished. So probably when you start the real workout, the stretch effect is already gone. So additionally to the decreasing of the force production, you know that static stretch has the main benefits of increasing the range of motion, okay? And this one will improve the way that you can reach out. For example, let's say in the handstand your shoulder mobility is lacking, you stretch your pecs, stretch your biceps and so on, and you go and you can reach a little bit more. This is good for that, to increase the range of motion, and that's probably the main benefits of it. So if you want to work static stretch before a strength training, for example, try to use it with less than 30 seconds of holding. So if you want to work on things like the splits or some stretch, or increase just the range of motion, you are just working on your range of motion. You can increase the time that you perform the stretch, and it will be beneficial for you. So this is about static stretching, and if let's say if you are working on the planche, you have to be with a limit of time of 30 seconds of stretching. It's what is regularly done, because we don't stretch that much in terms of time, and you are good to go if you do this, okay? In terms of the dynamic, as I said, is more like a motion. You can use this one to reproduce a little bit the exercise that you are going to perform, the motion that you are going to perform, and you also with this one have what you will be like body. It's a warm up, because you are improving the blood flow. Okay, your blood flow will be increased, and this will have a big impact on your overall training, because you are more warmed up. By the way, guys, I hope you can read this one. I hope you can read what I write, or if my letter isn't that bad, okay? And I hope you can hear me well. So if anything isn't going well, or isn't happening the way that it's supposed to do, make sure you comment and I will try to adjust it, okay? So continuing, dynamic stretching. This also, it can have an impact on increasing the force. Okay, some studies say this with some kind of, not all are like nice. Thank you, Crazy Ned, for telling me that you can hear me. Thank you. Okay, continuing. So some studies say that this can really happen, but it's not always clear, but it can happen. So increase the force production, because it also increases the neural transmission, because you are warmed up. Also, it can increase the range of motion as the other one, okay? Of course, it's more dynamic range of motion that you are increasing. So looking at this, if you are working towards something, let's say today we are performing front lever and planche. Okay, so what are you going to do? Are you going to go for static stretching before the training? Probably not. Probably it's not the best idea, because you can use dynamic stretch to have the same benefits and even more, because you are improving the force production as well as improving the blood flow and really warming up your body. That's what you want. And you can even reproduce some of the motion, like doing raises with your arms. It's like, I mean, you can do raises here, but you can also go here. And with this one, you are stretching. Of course, you are stretching your pecs, your biceps, and so on. And you are also reproducing a motion of the exercise as well. So this probably dynamic one is the best one to go when it comes to before training. it's probably the one that you want to go. In terms of this question, I hope I have answered. If you have any question about this one, you make sure you comment it, and I will try to respond as well right now, or even in the end of the session. So I hope you are more clear about stretching before training, at least comparing static and dynamic stretching. And then I'm just going to clean this one, and we are going to the next one. The next one is related to deload week, and this one is a very good question because some people don't understand what it is and why should we do it, or even if you should do it. So let me just clean this one so that I can keep on writing and keep on showing you some ideas, okay? Okay guys, before I continue, let me also know, what have you been working on? What are you working on right now? What skills are you training? If you are training skills, if you are training for sets and reps, improving your strength in pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and so on. Let me know what you are working on, and we can also have a discussion about this, and I'll also share with you some ideas of what I am doing at this moment. Okay, so continuing to the deload week. Okay, let's talk about deload week. So when it comes to deload week, I don't know if you all know what it is, but deload week is a week where you decrease intensity, the load of your training, and you keep on training, you keep on workouting, but you decrease the training intensity in order to your body to recover. So in this one, you are aiming for decreasing the load as well as recover mentally and physically from the workouts that you've done. Normally, this is performed for about 4 to 5 weeks after you do 4 to 5 weeks of training. You normally perform the deload week to recover your body and to recover from that intense workout that you've performed. So next, what you want to do in this period of time. So in this period of time, in this whole week, you don't stop training. It's not supposed for you to stop training and not work out for the whole period of time. It is supposed for you to just decrease the load. For example, let's use the example of the planche. You are doing, at this moment, you can do 3 seconds of straddle planche, and you want a deload week, you're feeling sore, you feel fatigued, you feel like you're not progressing, you have passed the 4 to 5 weeks, the month of full train, and you want to decrease a little bit intensity. Here you perform what? You decrease, for example, from the straddle planche to the advanced tuck planche, for example, and instead of performing the exercise with the straddle planche, you perform it with advanced tuck planche. You are decreasing intensity, but keeping at the same time working out, as well as keep on developing the mind-muscle connection, the position, developing some weak links as well, and strengthen the position. So you can keep on working out, and this is an option, as well as you can use bands and so on. So you have a lot of ways. I won't go in a lot of details about this, but you have a lot of ways to perform the deload week and to decrease intensity. But basically what you want to do, what do we want to do, is decrease the intensity or the load of your training, okay? So this is what you want to do, but why do we want to do? As I said before, this is when you train hard and when you train consistency for about 4 to 5 weeks, you put your body in a lot of stress, and sometimes you go and you feel like you are stressed, you are like fatigued, you go to work out and you can't do what you normally could do, and you just don't feel like doing it the same way that you normally do, and that can be a sign of overtraining, and the deload week will serve that purpose, decreasing the intensity in order for your body to recover, your mind to recover, so that you, when you come back, you keep staying focused and you keep working on without reaching the point that you are exhausted, you are overtraining, and you have to do more than 1 week of rest, you have to do more days of rest, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep consistent training for a longer period of time, but this week will help you with that, because you are keeping the workouts in, you keep the motivation in, and you also keep your exercises in, your progress in, because what the rest will do, as you know, probably you already know this one, when you sleep is when your muscle recover, when your muscle have the ability to grow, to develop, to get the strength in the place, and so on. And when you do the deload week, you are doing everything, not the same thing. Of course, you are still working out, you are still damaging the muscle, still growing some tissue and so on, but you are decreasing the intensity and helping your body to focus in it, recover it, and so on. Okay, someone asked for tips to go from tuck to advanced tuck. Okay, so I have a complete video about this one. When it comes to the tuck to the advanced tuck, I have a playlist called Planche Tutorial, that there you have everything from the planche lean to the tuck to the advanced tuck to the half lay, everything in there. You can check that, but we can also discuss it at the end if you still have some doubts after that. So let me just have this one to the end of the video so that we don't miss the deload part of the week, okay? Yeah, thank you for the support, man. Okay, continuing it. Deload week, where was I? So I was about to tell you I was talking about the why. So that is the mainly why is resting, but keeping the workouts in, keeping the motivation in. So it's a must when you want when you don't want to reach I just lost the word. The overtraining, yeah, you don't want to reach the overtraining, so you use the deload week to keep your mind on focus and keep your body tuned in, keep your body rested, but training at the same time. So this is all about the deload week. Basically is a week that you train, but you can work more, for example, on your weak links, on your mobility and so on. But you don't stop training. Remember, guys, when you are on a deload week, it's not supposed for you to stop training. You can have the rest day as usual, but don't stop training because you don't want to do that, okay? So, going on to the bigger question that is about the periodization of training, or even about the way that you can schedule your week of training. It's a good question, it's a big question. I will try not to be too much confusing about this one, but I will also not go in a lot of details. But please, if you have any doubts about it, if I am being confused, if you don't understand anything or something that I say, please comment. I will try to explain it better. I will try to make myself clear and help you out, okay? So let me just clean this one and we will continue it. And also after and before, actually before I continue with that periodization part, just remind you again about the live stream code, 30% of discount if you want to get that for this Easter period and for the period that are coming after. If you want a workout program for the planche, for the handstand, you can check that in the links in the description down below so that you understand what I have to offer and what you can get from it, okay? Also, if you have any other question, make sure you comment about that. So another question CrazyNet asked, let me just read it. How about after the deload week? When will be the next time we will do the deload week again? Because for sure our body after 5 to 6 weeks we already could adapt the intensity of our workout. Okay, if I understand you are asking about you do the first deload week and then you restart, okay? So when you restart, it's supposed that your body is already rested, so you can restart the training that you were doing, the intensity you were doing, and again, with the example of the straddle planche, if you did the deload week with the advanced tuck, then you can come again on Monday, for example, you start the next period of time of training, and you go for straddle planche again. You increase the intensity, you go, and of course you don't do on the first week or on the first day of the week all of the exercises as usually, so you don't go all out, you don't increase. For example, if you finish the pre-deload week with straddle planche all with 3 seconds, you can't expect to go all in and do a full planche. Sometimes that happens, but you have to keep in mind that you also need to do it progressively. You don't go all in. But I also think you were asking about when to do it again, and basically keeping it the same period of time, it's a good idea, but you can also go with feeling. For example, you do the first month, you feel that in the 4th week you are feeling tired, you're feeling like you're not progressing, feeling exhausted, you take the deload week. After you take the deload week, you restart again, straddle planche, working on it, progressing, increasing the intensity, increasing the sets, and so on. You are getting the progress. You go for 4 weeks and you feel, oh, I'm fine, I'm completely good, I don't feel exhausted, I feel fine, my muscles are recovering well, I can keep on working, I keep on progressing it. So you don't need to take it on 4 weeks again. So get another week of training, and keep in mind that you need to listen to your body. So if your body is telling, oh, I'm fine, keep on going, you can keep on going. Of course, if you take care of your nutrition, your sleeping, your hydration, you probably will be better, and you'll increase that resistance to the stress that you put in your body. But it's basically the feeling that you have, what your body is telling you, that, oh, I'm feeling good, you can keep going. But for example, if you come and you are on the 5th week and you feel like, oh, I'm getting fatigued, I'm getting exhausted, I can't really progress that much. I can't really progress that much now. Probably I will just stop. Okay. I will just stop and do a deload week again, but this time for 5 weeks after. So your body, of course, will adapt, and for sure your body will have that ability, and it's a great ability, and you really need to use it. And you can't expect to be always the same thing. For example, let's say you start a new movement, let's say you start working, a different example. Let's go with one arm pull-up. You have never done one arm pull-up before. So you start working on the one arm pull-up, and you feel like after 3 weeks you're completely exhausted, you can't even do the pull-ups that you usually did, and you feel like, okay, I need to deload it, I need to decrease intensity. You can even decrease intensity on a specific movement, but it's better if you do in everything, but you can just do it in a specific movement. And if you do it, it can change. For example, you can do it on the 3rd week, and then after that you just do it on the 6th week. When you begin again, you can hold it again. So it's not that simple to say, oh, do it always on the 1st month or after 1 month of training. No, go with your body, feel what your body have to tell you, listen to what your body have to tell you, and you are good to go if you go like that. This thing with the deload week is that you don't want to overtrain, or that you want to use that time to work on some weak links. So if you feel like you are good, but you want to rest a little bit in order to progress or to work on something that you can't work as you are on your schedule, on your workout plan, you just stop and do it, okay? You just go for your feeling, okay? So I hope I was clear about what I was saying. I hope that I answered your questions, okay? If I didn't, please comment again, and I will try to explain me better again, okay? And please, I hope I have helped you out, okay? So I'll just wait a second because this has a delay in terms of the comments, and just to see if I get an answer from you or not, and then we start. Okay, nice, Crazy Net, thanks, and it's good that you understand what I had to say, and thank you for the questions. Good one, okay, man. Next, so let's go to the big one, the periodization, the planning the training week or the training period of time. It doesn't have to really be a week only, okay? So, planning, I hope, planning, okay, there's something wrong here. So, planning, I hope that I'm not writing it wrong, planning your workouts, okay. So, about planning the workouts, you have different ways to plan this. It's a whole world of ways that you can program your training in the different ways, but they all have one thing in common, that is how you want to do it. So, 3 questions that you may have the ability to answer, or that you need to have the ability to answer in order to plan the training, in order to understand what you want to do with your training. So let me just get this one here. So first one, how many days per week do you want to train, or can you train, or how many days can you train per week? Next, how many time? How much time? Oh, probably how much time? I'm having, yeah, how much time? I think it's how much time, whatever. So the time that you have per day to perform the training, and the third one is about, let me put it here, goals. I will just put goals, okay? What are your goals? What are you working on? What do you want to achieve in a certain period of time, or what do you want to achieve with your training? So, with this one, these are the 3 ones that you need to answer before you even start thinking about planning anything, okay? After that, you need to know that you have skills training, sets and reps, different types of methodologies of training, and you can work in terms of skills, you can work in terms of muscle groups, and in terms of motion. And I'm going to explain this afterwards. I'm just going to draw a kind of calendar. So here it is. So we have Monday, we have Tuesday, we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and this got bigger than I expected. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so those are these are a calendar of the week, of a month. Let's say it's a month, so that I can explain you better. We are going to work with 1 week as an example. So let's start with the simple one, that is muscle groups. You have back, chest, arms, shoulders. You can just work for that way. For example, you work one day chest, another day the back, another day the triceps, and so on. That's not really common to do that in that separately way. So chest and triceps normally come together. It's the most common one in terms of like gyms workouts, and that also comes to the next step, that is the motion. And when I talk about motion, I talk about 2 different things, that is the push and the pull. As you know, the push related to the chest, triceps, and also the shoulders, and the horizontal and the vertical. When I talk about the horizontal and the vertical, this is probably more related to the calisthenics world, but also to the other ones, because you can also translate this to the gym workouts and so on. In this one, you have, let's say, the ones that you do like in a standing motion, and the ones that you do in a kind of laying motion. As an example, planche is an horizontal movement, and one arm pull-up is a vertical movement. So let me just show you how you can divide your week related to the motion, the training motion that you can form the exercises. And just using the training motion, not giving any examples, let's say, as you are working skills or not, okay? Let's just go here. let's have 1 week, okay? And then you can read with the blue as well. So on Monday we go for push. We do a push workout. Thursday a pull workout, let's say legs. And then we repeat it and have a rest day on Sunday. This is a common one to see, and this is a one that you normally see in training gyms and so on. So push-pull legs is the training. So here you have 6 days of training, 1 day of rest, and as you see, legs is a rest day for these two, and these two are rest days for the legs. So you can go heavier on all the workouts because you are resting a lot from until the next workout. So you are good to go with heavy exercises, a lot of sets, a lot of reps, and it's a good one if you want to divide this, and if you want to go with, let's say, it can have although it can have a different thing, that is, it can increase the time that you spend on the workout because you are using only exercise of pushing, so you need to have the ability to let your muscles rest before the next set. So next, let's go to the horizontal and vertical. So let's say you are working horizontal and vertical, and let's put again legs, okay? And then we repeat it again and have a rest day here. For example, okay? This is just an example. You can change it. There's a lot of ways. I won't go with all of the ways because it's too extensive, and that's not the purpose of it. It's just to get you a clear understanding. I don't know if you can read this. Probably you can. I hope you can. If you don't understand something, let me know, okay? So horizontal, vertical legs. Legs can be other thing, can be just rest. You can work legs here. You can change the way that you want, okay? So horizontal and vertical. The problem here is when you work horizontal, you are working pulling and pushing. So both of them, in both of these, you are working pull and push. So you are working kind of your upper body on the 2 days. The good thing about this is that this one will have a less period of time per day, so you don't need that much time per day to perform the workout. So this one, the time will be decreased, but the rest from one day to the other will be less as well. So you have to pay attention on what you do. Of course, different muscles are working from one day to the other, but the same ones can also be working as well, okay? So make sure that this one also gets you recovered, so you can't go all in on the 2 days. But you can work pretty hard because you have rest day here and you can repeat it here, and then you have rest days again, okay? So these are 2 different ways to perform pull, push, or horizontal, vertical are the 2 main difference in terms of motion, okay? Then what do we have? Another common one for people that don't have that easy calendar, that can perform 6 days per week of training, and they want to go with only 3 days of training. This is the full body training. The full body training is the best option when you don't have that much time per week, that amount of days, like 6 days. Just have 3 days. You do full body, and full body, okay, let's just draw another line, another week. So you have a calendar more restricted, and you have just 3 days. You can do full body, and full body 3 days, okay? This way you are working everything on these 3 days. Of course, this full body, for example, let's say this full body can even go here, and here is a rest day. You just choose the way you want to perform it accordingly to your calendar. So full body, you work everything, you go all out, you wrap it out, you do a lot of sets, a lot of exercises, so that your body gets full work done on every day that you have, and then you can rest. These are rest days, or even can be mobility days if you want to do some mobility, some stretching, or just a rest day if you can do anything at all. So This is another common one. Probably I won't go a lot on this one. You can just see and try for yourself. The full body one is good if you are on a busy schedule. So next, and now let's come more to what I do and what the calisthenics world is more about. That is the skills. So in terms of skills, you know that you have a lot of things, and here come one important thing, that are the goals. Okay, what are you working on, or what do you want to achieve with your training? Let's say you have 3 goals. Okay, I will just use planche. Okay, planche, front lever, and handstand. Okay, planche, front lever, and handstand are the goals that you have right now at this moment. How do you want to work? How can you work on it? There are different ways. I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can work for this skill. So let me draw another week. So forget these ones for now. Another week about the skills training, and you can have this in 2 ways as well. And here I'm going to go again, no written there, but again with the motion part. So horizontal and vertical pulling. We have planche and front lever and handstand. What do you see here? Planche and handstand are both pushing, so both will work the same patterns, but they are different in one thing, that this planche is horizontal and handstand is vertical. In terms of front lever, is a pulling movement, it's a horizontal pulling movement. So here you can already see one thing. You can complement this and work like these 2 here. So you can go for push, and you can perform planche and handstand on the same day, planche and handstand on the same day, and front lever on the following day, because you are rested from there. And then you can work, for example, legs. Okay, let's put here legs. As you see here, you have front lever alone on one day, but you can also do one thing, that is add another exercise, add another skill, even if it's not the skill that you want to work at this moment, or if you don't want to focus on it but you want to reach it in some point in the future. So let's say you are working for these ones, and just to simplify this, I'm going to put 1 arm pull-up. Okay, you want to work on your 1 arm pull-up as well. 1 arm pull-up is what? Pulling and vertical. Perfect. You can do it, you can put it over here. 1 arm pull-up goes with the front lever in the pulling day. So here we have push, pull, legs. Again, as the first one. What is required? Require you to have more time per day to work out, because you have to rest more in every workout in order to have the ability to recover from exercise to exercise. But on the other hand, you can go with much more intensity in every workout, because from this day to this day, meaning that from Monday to Thursday, you have 2 days of recovery until you perform the next workout. So you can go all in, you can work in a more efficient way in terms of that day. You can go with all you have, okay? You don't need to worry too much about it. But this can be time consuming, as I said. The other option is different one. Here we are going for horizontal vertical, as you already guessed probably. So horizontal vertical, we have planche, front lever, 1 arm pull up, and handstand. Right? Yeah, I believe, yes. just getting sure that I didn't write anything wrong. So planche, front lever, 1 arm pull up, handstand. This one is the same thing, horizontal vertical, and in this one you have the same thing. From day 1 to day 2, you are working same muscle groups, different patterns of movements, but the same muscle groups are there as well. So you have to pay attention to the recovery part, and you can't go as much as an all-in as you could on planche and handstand as previously on push-pull. But what these have that is interesting is that you decrease the time of training. Every day you decrease the time of training that you need to have to perform this training, as well as you can have the ability to develop your skills and progress in your training as well. So this one is good to decrease the time that you have, because you can rest a little less from set to set, because you can go from planche to front lever almost right away. That won't be a problem, okay? Next one, okay, just putting here, for example, legs or a rest day. You choose what you want to do. Your goals are about it all. You just choose the way that you want to perform this, okay? Also, let's talk about another one. This one is good, but also difficult to manage and difficult to perform. And this is good, for example, if you want to reach a skill faster, okay? And this one you can also do with 4, but it's normally best if you do with 2, because the progress will be more linear, will be faster, okay? Let me just check this. Can you tell us what you need to do to start street workout? Okay, yes. I will leave this question to the end, okay, so that I don't break the explanation about the periodization, but I'm going to answer that one, okay? Just I will let you know after I explain this, okay? Thank you for the question, by the way. And as I have stopped, also, if you aren't understanding something that I'm telling you, please comment and I will explain better, okay? Keep on going. The one that I was talking about. Let's say you have the 4 and you want to increase the intensity of the 4 and to just focus on skills and just on this. You have one option, that is performing planche, front lever, one arm pull-up, and stand, and then you repeat it for the next days, okay? This is a good one if you want to decrease the time as well as the intensity of the workout. What? Sorry? You got a name? Spock, what do you mean? You got a name? Can you tell me a little bit more about that? I didn't understand what you wanted to say. Okay. So what I was telling you is planche front lever, one arm pull up and stand. As you know, this is the horizontal vertical version, and this is very demanding because you can't just go with a lot of sets and a lot of repetitions on this one. You have to pay attention that you need to divide in each training the sets and reps, as you are working 6 days of week the same thing. Actually, you can have a rest day some around here, or even 2 rest days, one rest day here and not one rest day here, if you want to divide this in some way. What do we call it? Sorry guys, my name is Bruno, and I should have mentioned this in the beginning. I'm Bruno and I'm from Workout Union, the channel that you are in, okay? So sorry for that, and thank you for reminding me of that, okay? And continuing it again, this one may not be the best option, although you have less intensity and less time under every workout. So I would probably won't use this one. It's an option, but it's a very demanding one, and I probably wouldn't use this one because it's easier to get to the overtraining. I would go with other thing, that is the push-pull. You can go with planche and stand, front lever and one arm pull-up, and then repeat it. Okay, we can go with this one. The push-pull is a good one if you want to really focus on that on some weeks. For this, again, make sure you pay attention to your body and so on, but make sure you understand that you are doing the right thing. So push-pull is the best way to perform this type of training, because you are doing what? Push, pull. You rest the push here and you work the push again. So you have 1 day between each training session to recover. Same thing, you can't go all in each training. You have 1, 2, 3 pushing days and 3 pulling days on 1 week. So here you must take into account that you need to rest, and that from here to here you have 1 day, but that won't always be enough. So here you can't go the same way that you would go, let's say here, okay, when you have a little more rest here. So let's say you want to do 5 sets here, 5 sets here, 5 sets here. That's an option. Instead of doing 10 sets here and 10 sets here, okay? You just change the way that you perform the training, you just change the way that you do it. Another way to perform it, and there are a lot of ways, so I will just try to tell you different things that you can get to your training, and I hope I'm not getting too much confusing, okay? But the other way is performing, let's say, intense exercises here, less intensity here, increasing intensity again here. So the middle workout, the workout on Wednesday, let's say this is on Wednesday, the second workout is the one that you decrease intensity to get a little extra recovery, and then you increase intensity again because you have more time to recover until the next training, okay? This is another option, more time consuming probably, but you can also divide this as well. Okay, another question, let me just check this here. What if you're just a beginner? Would that be fine to practice a skill, 3 skills already, or it will be better to do fundamentals to building a muscle first 4 months before doing progressional skills training? Crazy Nate, good question as well. I'm going to let this one for the end of the video, and I'm going to answer that one with the other one that I'm going to explain at the end, so that again I don't interrupt this one. But it's a good question, and of course you need to prepare first and then go for the skills. But I'm going to develop a little bit more about that after, okay? So what I was about to tell you is that this one can be less time consuming during the day, but is more intense in terms of the week. So you must pay attention to your fatigue, to your overtraining, to the way that you are training, okay? Make sure you rest, recover, nutrition is everything, resting is everything, hydration is everything, okay? So let me just see if I don't forgot anything. Okay, yeah, just one other way, that is the one that probably is the one that have most beneficials in terms of progressing, that is using only 2 skills. I'm just using the example of skills, you can use other thing, okay? So you have these 4. Let's get handstand, and let's get 1 arm pull-up, and let's have just planche and front lever. So here you could do what? Planche, front lever, planche, front lever, planche, and front lever. Keep in mind that this is still an intense type of training, is one that you really need to get that skill in certain period of time, so you need to go all in, you need to go to that period, you just have to work on that, and you have the complete focus on that. This is the way that you probably want to go. Of course this won't last forever, and you can do this always and every day and every month, you can do this every time, but it's a good way if you want. Let's say you need to get the planche in the next month, you are on straddle planche and you really need to get the full planche to a competition that you have. You do this for 2 to 3 weeks, for example, and then it probably will be better for you to get the planche or the front lever in that period of time, because you are focused on it, your body is completely focused on that movement pattern, okay? These are different ways of you to perform training. Some are more time consuming, some are less, some are better in terms of the relation push-pull, in terms of back, chest, meaning that you have the ability to rest more, rest less. So you have to keep in mind that you have the schedule that you have, so you must take into account that you need to have the ability to recover, and you have to understand that training isn't that easy. It's not picking this and okay, I'm going to do that one and put it like that. There's a lot of other contents, a lot of other information about training itself, about physiology, about anatomy and so on, things that you need to keep in mind and that you need to research and understand before you go all and try to start programming your training. This is a good way to start. Choose one, train, experiment, try it out, and probably will find one that fits you and will work for you in a good method, okay? Another thing, I'm just going to clean this one, but another thing that I would like to get out and tell you guys about is a way that you can get your goals to be good goals in terms that they can be reachable, meaning that you don't choose something like you go for planche because I want planche and whatever, and you don't have a specific way of performing it. It's a time schedule, a way that you want to do it. You don't think about it, you just go, okay? This is the smart approach. I don't know if you already know about this or not, but I'm going just to write it just so that you can know about it, okay? Just going to clean this all, okay? Let me just take this. This does not clean very well, but I'm trying my best. So guys, you can start to answer other questions if you have some other questions. I'm just going to put this one here and I'm going to go through the questions those two questions that I led to the end, okay? Okay, that's enough. So stop right here and I'm going to pick this one. So we have forget about this one, okay? We have the smart approach. What is the smart approach? We have let's start with this one. The goals need to be specific, so they have to be concise. You want to go with planche, you go with the planche. They have to be measurable. I hope I'm not doing any mistake in terms of writing. So measurable, meaning that you start with a planche 3 seconds and you want to reach 5 seconds, and you can really, for example, this week you try it 3 seconds of tuck planche. Next week you try 5 seconds of tuck planche, and then you can keep on measuring it, keep on recording it in order to have a clear mind if you are progressing, if you are not progressing. This is a good way to also make sure you are doing it good, you are progressing it, and you are going the right pathway, okay? Next one, they have to be achievable. Probably this is not right the best way. I'm not a really good writer. Achievable, okay? In terms of this, and this one relates to one of questions that one of you have asked, that is, should I go right away for skills? And this is the answer. Goals needs to be achievable. You can't get the planche in 1 month, for example, so you need to keep in mind that they need to be time specific but also achievable. If you are starting, you probably will get a tuck planche soon, but you won't get a straddle planche soon. So make sure you first focus on getting the tuck planche. That is an achievable goal for you, but straddle planche won't be that achievable for now. So you must know that in a specific period of time you have this skill to get, this goal to get. Don't go all the way out. Don't put I have 1 month of training, I want to get full planche, front lever and so on. No, please focus on something that is achievable at the moment, and then you can progress, okay? Next one is the R, and the R stands out for realistic, okay? Realistic, I just talked about it before. Make sure you understand that if you are a beginner, you can't go to the full planche just yet, okay? Work on the basics, then you progress, okay? Be realistic about your goals. The next one is time-based, so I also have talked about this one before, and you can have a timestamp on your goal. So you can, and probably you won't have that always, but you can have this as a progress meter, let's say. And this one is like the thing that I told firstly. You have the tuck plans to reach, or you have the example about the competition. You have to reach you have to go from the trial planche to the full planche in 3 weeks. So it's the time period that you need to get that goal. So it's a realistic goal in terms that you can do a solid straddle planche, and if you work consistent, you can get the full planche in that 3 weeks. It's achievable because you already have the basis, and it's measurable. You can measure from week to week if you are progressing or not and what you need to change. And it's specific, full planche, specific, it's direct. So this is a good approach for you to start and think about your goals. It's the smart approach, okay guys? So I just wanted to tell you about this one, and this is a good way for you to keep in mind when you are choosing your goals. So now let me just go with the questions that you have. Let me just pick some water over here. Okay, let me just see the questions. Okay, here, let me go to the top. Tips on go to, okay. The first one was about the tips on how to go from the tuck to the advanced tuck. As I said, I have a full tutorial about that, but again, you have to keep in mind that that's basically opening up the hips, so having the eccentric control on your abdominals, making sure that you use, for example, a band on the beginning to start and get the notion of the movement, the position that you have. But that's a very good goal to focus on. That is a way that you must keep in mind always, that you don't want to go from the tuck to the half lay. You want to go from the tuck to the advanced tuck. So you are being realistic, and this is an achievable goal for sure. I won't go in details because it's better if you see the tutorial. You can check that on the playlist as I told you, and you will be better clarified if you watch it, okay? Next. Okay, this deload week was answered right away. Can you tell us what you need to okay, this Spock asked, I don't know, it's Spook, whatever. I don't know how to say your name, but I'm sorry for that, but I'm going to answer your question anyway. So the question is, can you tell us what you need to start out street workout? Basically, you just need to have you just have to want to start it. First of all, you just have to like it, enjoy it, and have the, let's say, the courage to start it. But to begin with, you need to keep in mind that it's going to be rough, it's going to be hard, and you have to keep focused every time. So in the beginning, you have to go with the basics. Just the basics is enough for you to start. Pull-ups, if you can't perform pull-ups, Australian pull-ups, man, you have a lot of ways that you can do the pull-up. But for example, you are a complete beginner, never worked out, you can even do a pull-up. As I was when I started, I couldn't do a pull-up, and even push-ups were hard for me. So you start with Australian pull-ups. You do Australian pull-ups to develop that back strength. You do push-ups, knee push-ups, for example, elevated push-ups to start. My recommendations if you want to start street workout is go with the basics for the first months, build your foundation, build your strength, and then you are very, very capable of developing the rest of the strength that you need. Start to work on skills and develop the skill that you always wanted to work. And after you have the foundation, everything is better, everything is good, and you won't have to worry too much about in terms of strength if you have or if you have not the strength. Another thing for the beginners, and something that I stopped doing and that I regret about, is that for some time when I got like for my second year, probably in my second year of training, probably I stopped doing as much as I was doing the basics. So I went to skills. I go hard on skills, but at the end of training there was no basics. I wasn't looking out for the strength, for the tendon structures, the development of muscle strength that is built on the basics. Of course, the skills give you a lot of strength. It's not that I'm telling you. Is that the basics are always a foundation, and it's something that you must keep always in mind. So don't stop working on basics, even if you can perform the skills. Okay, guys. So this is another information, another tip for you in terms of beginner or even advanced guys. Okay. I hope I hope that I have answered your question on what you need to start street workout. I don't know if you also mean in terms of equipment or not, but basically in the beginning you don't need much equipment, just get a pull-up bar and you are good to go, okay? The door frame pull-up bars are good, mainly the ones that you just screw against the sideways, because you can alter the height, and that's good to perform, let's say, the Australian pull-ups, okay? Next one. What if you are just a beginner? Would that be fine to practice 3 skills already, or it will be better to do fundamentals to build first in the first month? Okay, so related to that, to the skills and the beginner, as I told before, and in the other question. For sure, working on 3 skills as a beginner isn't the best way. Probably it's best for you to choose one. Let's say the handstand is another foundation. For me, handstand is another foundation. It should be one of the first ones that you learn. You have other easy skills that also get you motivated. I have a video about it, about five easy skills that you can easily learn at home with tutorials on it, if you want to check that out on the channel. And you can also use that to perform easy skills, so that you can keep motivation on. But handstand, let's use that as an example. If you are a complete no, because you probably already have started, are still a beginner, but you have started at least for some months already, and you are thinking about skills. 3 skills are too much at the beginning. If you don't work with the right way, so if you go all in every one of them, if you don't have one focus, that's why I tend to recommend in the beginning to choose one skill at the beginning, just to develop the strengths, develop the understanding of the movement, develop the notion of the movement, and to understand that your body needs to adapt before it can reach it. So the handstand is a good one for you to start if you are working on skills. I don't know if you are working on skills or not at this moment, Crazy Net, but if you are performing any skills at the moment, if you are going, or if you are thinking about performing any skill at the moment, I will recommend the handstand, and I will recommend to start with one and then progress again to another one, okay? One at the beginning is just fine. Thank you, Marta. Next, another one for Crazy Nate, and he says, is science one of the reasons why some can progress faster than the other? Because before I try to practice these skills, it slows my progression. However, when I try to do 2 skills, it changes, and so easy to do. Okay. I don't know what you mean about is science one of the reasons why we can progress faster, but probably you are talking about your body, the science part of your body, the physiology of your body, the anatomy of your body, the recovery part of your body. Probably you are talking about that. But if you want to develop a skill, and if you want to work on skills, 2 is very easy to handle in terms of progress. But that easiness that you talk about basically is a good thing. So if you feel that it's easy to perform 2 skills, only 2 skills, is a good thing, because you can progress even faster. I use always the example of the front lever and planche, because they work very well together. at least for me, they work very well together. And let's say you want really hard to get front lever and the planche. Working on front lever and the planche only will get you the front lever and the planche very fast, or at least faster than it would have if you didn't perform the front lever and the planche only. For example, at this moment I'm working on 4 skills. So 4 skills require you to have less time and attention in each skill, meaning that you work 2 days per week. At maximum, you work 2 days per week if you want to get the good workout, and you want to get a good resting period. So you have 2 days per week for each skill, and you have to rest from one to another, and so on. So having only 2 skills will enable you to perform at least 3 times per week of that skill. So you can perform, as I told you in the last example, planche in 3 days per week, front lever in 3 days per week. You can even combine both together and perform planche and front lever in 3 or even 4 days per week, because you can rest from one to the other, okay? You can perform front lever planche on Monday, and then you can rest and then perform again, okay? You have you have the ability to change it better and to develop it better in terms of your own training, and it's easier because you are progressing faster and you can have more time, and you have more time to that skill. So being easy is not a bad thing. You can think about it as a good thing, because you are progressing, you are focusing more on that skill, okay? So don't think that is a bad thing to have that as a easier thing to perform, okay? Not everything needs to be hard. You just can make it harder by increasing the intensity, but the progress will be better if you have only 2 skills, okay? I hope I have answered that question as well. So CrazyNet, let me know if I have answered the question that you have, or if you wanted me to tell you a different thing and to explain you a different thing, okay? Let me just wait a little bit because of the delay of the internet. Yep, okay. So, awesome, great. CrazyNet, thank you a lot for the question that you have and the other question that you had, and thank you all guys for the questions that you had during this live stream. They all were good and improved the live stream. I believe they have improved the live stream, and they were related to this. So just one other thing that someone asked me and told me that probably wouldn't be a good thing to talk, or even wouldn't be one thing that I would talk on the podcast, but there's no problem in that he wanted to ask me about what I was doing in terms of training. And before I tell you what I'm focusing at this moment, I just wanted to ask you guys if you think that it would be a good idea for me to film one day, every day of 1 week of my training, one day of my week of my training, and I show you guys a whole week of training of mine, and so that you can understand how I'm working and what I do at this moment, at this quarantine at home on my workout. So would you like to have 1 week of my training here on the channel? I will share every day one video about my training. Let me know, answer below, comment now, or leave a feedback after the video ends, okay? I would like to know if you like that thing, okay? If you like to see my training for a whole week. Talking about my training. At this moment, I'm beginning again to focus on the planche and front lever and stand, as well as one arm pull-up. So, in terms of handstand, I'm working towards the one arm handstand. It's probably the goal that I was mostly focusing on. I'm still going to go for that as well, and that probably is the one that I'm focusing most. But I'm also going to work, and I'm working more on the planche because I want to get it back. although it's sometimes I feel discomfort on my elbow and my shoulder due to the injuries, but I keep on working on them. I want to keep progressing on them because I love those skills. So I'm working more on the planche, front lever and handstand, and as a complement and also a back strengthener, the one arm pull-up, okay? It's not a goal at this moment, but it's something that I'm working towards in a long run, okay? Just about my training is this: planche, front lever, one arm handstand, and a little bit of one arm pull-up. The splits are still here, and I'm still doing a little bit of them, so I'm going to show you also a little bit of the splits in future, okay? Okay, just another question here. I got a lot of questions to ask, but I think it will consume your time. Crazynet, you can ask what you need, okay? Don't worry about that. You can ask another thing, probably if it's better if it's related to the video, so that we keep the topic on, but you can ask what you need, man, okay? Don't worry about that. In terms, Rome CEO, what is periodization? Oh, periodization was what we talked before. It's about the way that you plan your training. So it's like you think about your training, there's a lot of science behind it, but in the easiest way that I can tell you is the way that you train, the way that you plan your training during a week, a month, and even a year, if you are thinking in the long run, and if you want to plan that in that intensity, or meaning that you want to plan a whole year of workouts. I tend to use more the week or the month as a planner, but you can go 1 month as well. It's called macro cycles, mesocycles, and microcycles. So it's the terms used for periodization in terms of intensity. Macro is the bigger one, meso is the intermediate one, and micro is more related to 1 week of training or even 1 day of training, okay? So this is more related to periodization, so periodization is more related to your training schedule in terms of, it's the training schedule if you wanted to get it more clear. Instead of periodization, you can use training schedule, okay? So I hope I have answered your question. Yes, it would be great. I hope you are, I think we are talking about the videos about my training. Thank you for the answer, Crazynet. Another one. It is true that if you can do 10 pull-ups, you can progress to muscle ups quickly, because I can do 18 pull-ups, however 4 months of training I don't see any progress. Okay, that's a thing that you hear a lot, that if you do 10 pull-ups you can go to the muscle up and you will get it faster. The thing is, pull-ups, push-ups, dips, everything will help you to the muscle up. Everything it's needed to get the muscle up, but you need to keep in mind that builds your strength, but doesn't really correlate to the muscle up. Of course, if you can perform 1 pull-up, you can go to the muscle up, so 10 pull-ups is like a prerequisite for you to start working on muscle up. But you need, instead of doing regular pull-ups, you need to try to work on explosive pull-ups. Explosive pull-ups are best in terms of training for the muscle up, because they reproduce best the way that you perform the muscle up. Another thing that you can use to get the mind-muscle connection and to understand the position and the way that you perform the exercise is using bands to start it, okay? Okay, another one here. I'm a beginner. Do you think it's better for me to simply focus on basics first and then learn skills, or already starting learning skills now at the same time working on basics? No, if you are a beginner, let me know how much time have you been working now, if you are just starting now, if you have already 1 month of experience or not. But if you are a complete beginner, if you are just starting, go with the basics. Don't go just now for the skills. You can work, for example, a little bit of handstand if you already have some month of experience, but use the walls, just the wall and so on. But I recommend you to go with the basics. You have a lot to work on the basics. You have abdominals, legs, back, chest, pull-ups, push-ups, dips, squats. You have pike push-ups. You have a lot of different options, a lot of different types of training that you can perform with the basic stuff, and that is a must when it comes to training. You must focus on that, build that strength, build the capacity, build your strength overall, build your stamina. The basics are a must in the beginning and always. So if you are starting, just do the basics for now. When you feel stronger, when you know that you are stronger and you want to increase the intensity and progress because you know that you are ready for it, go for it. Start slow as well. Start with the basics of every skill and then go progressively, okay? But for now, keep the basics, okay? So let me know if I have answered your question, and I would like to know how long have you been working out, okay? Okay. Don't know if you, I don't know if you are writing anything or not, but I don't know if you guys have any other question or not. But before, let me just wait for the answer. If you have anything else to ask, and just a reminder again, my Easter gift, let's say, 30% off on programs. So make sure you check them, check the workout plans on the links in the description down below. So another one. Boas, hey, olá, tudo bem? Was a Portuguese friend, that's why I talk in Portuguese, guys. And that's it. Reminder of the code, live stream is the code that you can use on the checkout, okay? Probably you don't have any other question. So if you don't have any other question, I'll probably just end up the live stream here. It's been a good experience. Oh, CrazyNet is sending me a message. Thanks, you are very helpful, expecting for more topics. Yeah, for sure. You will have a lot of other content coming soon, and one of them is my workouts as well. Okay, thank you for the support, thank you for your questions, and you improve the quality of the live stream for sure. Okay, thank you, man. Parti o pulso para treinar a planche. Como é que isso aconteceu? Agora vais parar um bocadinho, de certeza. Okay. So, in terms of this, andar de skate, ok. Pronto, agora é um bocadinho recuperares disso e evoluires depois. Depois é isso, treinares de outras maneiras, mesmo aproveitares para treinar outras zonas, como em termos de pernas e fazer outros tipos de treinos, manter aí o fortalecimento abdominal e coisas do género, ok? Se precisares de alguma ajuda, podes mandar mensagem, estás à vontade, ok? So guys, just addressing it, was a friend who broke his wrist and now he stopped training the planche, so we have to take care of ourselves and put our health first. As I was saying, I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope I helped you out. I hope I answered some of your questions and that I helped you out with some information, some good information. I hope it was some good information and that you learned something new from this today. Okay? So, thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. And I'm going to see you on the next video that is going to be tomorrow. So don't miss it out. Make sure you subscribe, leave the like, and I'm going to see you again. Bye guys. Thank you.